Greetings from EPCOT. I am back because there are a few updates I want to share about things that are happening in the park. Believe it or not, Flower and Garden Festival begins in just a couple of weeks and preparations are already underway for that. There are new manatees over at the Seas Pavilion and there's a small construction update that I want to share. So let's get inside the park and check out what's happening. So over here at the front of the park, the sign for Festival of the Arts is still up because the festival is still underway, but pretty soon it will be replaced with a topiary display for Flower and Garden. Now this year there's going to be a new entrance topiary display and it's going to feature the characters from Moana. So it's going to be Maui, Moana, Hei, and Pua. So over here between the Land Pavilion and Journey into Imagination with Figment, they've started to build the butterfly garden. This is a very popular part of Flower and Garden Festival. So it's basically this giant tent that you can walk inside and it's filled with butterflies. There's also tons of flowers, really colorful flowers, and different plants. It's a really cool experience if you've never done it before because you can walk through it and see tons of butterflies. You can see them landing on the flowers. You can learn more about butterflies. I highly recommend you do it if you get a chance. So I've now made my way over to Test Track, which is currently closed. It's been closed for a while. It's set to reopen this summer. It's going to be completely revamped, Test Track 3.0. So the construction update that I wanted to share is that the new canopy that they are building is really starting to take shape. This is what it's supposed to look like once it's completed based on the concept art that Disney already released. But here you can see that, yeah, it's really starting to take shape here. And you really can't get a good view of it, at least not from the ground level. But if you want a really good view of the construction, you can hop on the EPCOT monorail, the one that takes you right through the park, and look down and see all that's happening over here behind the construction walls. So anyway, Test Track is reopening this summer. I've spotted my first topiary, and this one is Groot. It's a returning topiary, and they've actually moved him to a new spot. So he's located right across from Connections Eatery, right before you make your way over to Mission Space. Over here in the World Celebration area, they have a couple of topiary and garden displays. They have added some more flowers to the gardens. And then over at the entrance to World Celebration, the side closest to the World Showcase, they have these flower topiaries. And then right beside that, across the walkway, they've added the Phineas and Ferb topiary. Now, Phineas and Ferb have been featured as topiaries at the festival before, but this is their first time back in like 7 years. This is one of the best views during Flower and Garden Festival, this flower bed display. But they've already planted the flowers, so you get to see it if you're currently here for Festival of the Arts. Now, if you look closely, you can see different designs in the display. So there's flowers that make butterflies and other flowers, and they're different colors, and they're all bright. It's just very, very pretty. So I've reached the entrance to World Showcase and I have a decision to make. Do I go left or do I go right? And I know it's a big debate. People always say go left. I typically go right, but I think today I'm gonna go left. I'm making my way around the World Showcase and my first stop is in Mexico because the topiary featuring Miguel and Dante from Coco is now up. So I spotted another topiary over here in Norway, and it's the troll topiary, and he pretty much returns every year. But he's kind of tucked away here in the pavilion, and you can find him right across from the Royal Summer House. So I made my way over to the China Pavilion because this has one of my favorite topiary displays of the entire Flower and Garden Festival, and it's the pandas. And there's 3 of them, and they're in various poses, and they're really, really cute. And I love coming over here to see them, and I'm glad that they're already out. So right before you get to the France Pavilion, there's another flower display. So this one is purple and white flowers, and in the center, there's a Mickey head. So over here between the Canada Pavilion and the entrance to World Showcase is another topiary display, and this one features the characters from Bambi. So there's Bambi, Thumper, and Flower. So I finished my loop around the World Showcase, and I'm making my way back towards the Land Pavilion. And over here, they have another topiary, and this one is of Goofy, and it shows him blowing dandelions. But what's also really cool about this display is it also makes it look like the wind is blowing as well. You can look at his ears to see the direction that they're facing. So over here in the Seas Pavilion, they have 2 new manatees that are staying here, and they're only staying here temporarily. Their names are Cider and Minnow, and they're only here for a short time, probably less than a year, because Disney has recently shifted the focus of this manatee facility into short-term critical care. So the manatees will come here, be rehabilitated, and then the goal is to release them back into the wild. There's actually 2 spots you can try to see the manatees. Over on the ground level, right here where they have this wide viewing window, or on the upper level where you can look down into the aquarium. Now upstairs they also have some signs that tell you facts about manatees and about how they're doing different conservation efforts. And then there's also this chalkboard here that has some facts about Cider and Minnow. Okay, I see one manatee, but I don't know which one that one is. I don't see the other one. Probably done for the day. It's later in the day, so they're probably done. And again, they won't be here for a long time. They'll probably be here less than a year, and then a new set of manatees will arrive. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed joining me for a loop around the park as I shared updates about things that are happening here at EPCOT. Make sure you subscribe, that way you can keep up with all the videos I'm posting here on the channel, including the park updates. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.